Welcome back, YouTube. Sensei Domino here. Welcome to the Spine Ticks After Party. Got some great stuff to share with you tonight. I'll be showing the rest of my most recent COMC order, some eBay pickups. I'll be showing another group of the 1979 Topps Baseball Starter Set. I'll also be opening up a few more packs of the 1990 Kingpins bowling cards. But let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with the COMC order. So last week I showed about half of the order, and I have the other half this week. This whole order was sort of all over the place, all sorts of sports, a few non-sports. But let's go ahead and get started. This first card is a 2016 Topps Heritage WWE. And it's Becky Lynch. I believe this is her rookie card. They use the 1986 Topps Baseball design, which I love this design. This was the set that I guess originally got me into baseball cards. And big fan of Becky Lynch. And so I decided to pick this up. All right, next, this is a 2018 Topps WWE Women's Division. And this is Bianca Belair. Big fan of hers as well. Did not have any of her rookie cards, so decided to pick up a few in this order. This is when she was with NXT. And also have two different versions of this 2018 Topps WWE Then, Now, and Forever. First, we have the base, NXT. And then we have bronze version. All right, next, moving on to a pair of tennis cards. These are both 2003 Net Pro. This first one is part of the International Series. Anytime you can pick up a Serena Williams rookie card, got to do it. She's the GOAT. And I did not have this one. This one's a great looking card. And then this one's part of the Net Pro Elite Series, Event Edition Starter. This is Roger Federer. He had an amazing career. Definitely up there with the top players to ever play. And I do have several of his other rookie cards from 2003 Net Pro, but I did not have this one, so decided to pick it up. Great image. All right, next, moving on to a few football cards. This first one is 1956 Topps. And it's Bill Forrester. This is his rookie card. It's in pretty nice shape. Minor corner wear, but no creases. Great looking card. This guy definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, although he is not. And his rookie cards are really cheap, so definitely wanted to pick up a rookie card of his. I tell you, offensive linemen, they don't get a whole lot of respect in the hobby, but fantastic player. next moving on to 1968 Topps. It's another Hall of Famer, Jimmy Johnson. Really nice defensive back. This card is pretty sharp. Just a little off center. A great looking card. There's the back. All right, next, picked up another card for the Mean Joe Green player run. Did not have this one. Thought it was in really nice shape. So this 1981 Topps, Joe Green. Pride of the University in North Texas. Definitely up there with my favorite football players of all time, especially with me being a North Texas alumni myself. I think I have about 5 cards from his player run, just slowly putting it together. I do have his rookie card now, so every other card from his run is relatively cheap. So just slowly, steadily picking those up. All right, this one was kind of a lucky find. This is an autograph that I found on COMC, but it was actually listed with the regular cards from this set. So I got this for like pennies on the dollar of what I should have. So it was really kind of mislabeled, but I couldn't grab it fast enough. And really happy to pick this up. This is definitely a football legend. And a couple months ago, I had picked up my first autograph of this individual, but really happy to pick up a second one. This is on a 1988 Swell Football Greats Hall of Fame card. This is of Elroy Crazy Legs Hirsch. And really happy to kind of stumble upon this and get this for a fraction of what I should have paid for it. He was a pretty prolific signer, so I mean his autographs aren't too expensive, but yeah, I got this for a couple bucks. Really happy to pick this up. So now I have another Crazy Legs Hirsch autograph. Love it. All right, moving on to some baseball. And I picked up a 1971 Topps Bobby Valentine rookie card. This card is really sharp, just off center a little bit. But Bobby Valentine was the manager of the Texas Rangers when I first started following him. And he had a restaurant around here. And I remember coming back from a card show, I think it was 1988. And we stopped at his restaurant. And I saw him talking to a cook in the back of I guess, the kitchen area. And I remember wanting to, ask for his autograph then, but I never did. Eventually, I did get his autograph, and he does TTM, and I've sent to him already. But that memory sort of sticks out. But always been a big fan of Bobby Valentine. Of course, he went on to manage in Japan, and everybody knows his time as a manager of the New York Mets, and the most prominent moment was probably when he was ejected from the game, and the cameras caught him with this cheesy disguise in the dugout, and that's another Bobby Valentine moment that stands out for me, is that cheesy disguise. But what a character, and definitely a great TTM signer. If you're a fan of his as well, definitely send to him. But really happy to pick this up, and especially in really nice shape with these black borders. All right, next, this is a 1974 Topps, and anytime you can pick up a card of this guy, especially from his playing days, you got to do it. Although this one doesn't specifically mention his name, you know exactly who it is when you see the image. But this is Willie Mays. This is called the 1973 World Series subset. Just a great image. And this might be his only card in the 74 set as well. his last card was 73. But definitely really nice condition. He's up there with the top 2 or 3 people to ever play the game, and arguably the best all-around player to ever play the game. All right, next, this one was super cheap, but I didn't have it, so decided to pick it up, especially being a Ranger fan. He is a Hall of Famer. We picked up a 1991 Topps Traded Pudge Rodriguez rookie. I've had this traded set a few times in my lifetime, but didn't have it anymore. And really, this is the only card I could care about from the set, so I decided to pick this up. Next, definitely a fan of this guy, although he does kind of get a bad rap. A really nice player, and happy to pick up a rookie card of his. I might have one, but didn't pay a whole lot for it, so why not pick up another if I do have one. But this is a 2013 Bowman, Manny Machado. Next, I did not have a rookie card of this guy, but he did set the AL home run record a few years back, and decided to pick up a rookie card of his. And I am a fan of his for sure, but I don't know if he's going to be a Hall of Famer or not. Injuries are kind of an issue with him, and now he's got a bum toe, which probably won't ever be the same, but we'll see. It was still exciting to watch him, break Roger Maris's home run record in the American League. But this is a 2017 Topps Heritage Aaron Judge rookie. Happy to have a Judge rookie in my collection. Of course, this is the 1969 or 68 Topps design. Same with the Nolan Ryan. All right, and I believe these are the last 3. Yeah, the last 3 cards that I'll be showing from the COMC order. These are all Japanese issues of one of the all-time greats. Has the all-world hits record, passing Pete Rose. When you combine his Japanese stats and Major League Baseball stats, I'm sure you already know this is Ichiro, but I did pick up 3. I think these are all BBM. Yeah, 3 BBM cards of his from his time in Japan. We'll start with the 1996 BBM Japan series. Ichiro. I was actually trying to. These were kind of the eBay auctions that go through COMC, and there were a bunch of these for sale, and I was trying to win many of them, and I only ended up winning 3 of them. There was a lot of competition for these, but really happy to have won 3 of them. Ichiro is definitely one of my favorite players of all time. They just don't hit like Ichiro did anymore. He was amazing to watch, and outside of Tony Gwynn, the greatest hitter that I've seen in my lifetime. Next, we have 1999 BBM. This is 90s best players. Again, Ichiro. And the last one, this is a 2001 BBM 2000 Leaders. And 2001 was his first year in Major League Baseball. But just a great looking image. design of this card with the numbers, and just a great looking card. And there's the back. All right, so that's my most recent COMC order. I think it was 34 cards. And if I had known it was going to take 2.5 months to get here, I definitely would have purchased more cards before shipping it. But now that this has arrived, I'll start building up a new COMC order. And hopefully I have one of those to show sometime over the summer. Definitely would like them to fix their shipping issues because it's never taken 2.5 months for an order to get here. So, all right, moving on to some eBay pickups. I'll start with a few smaller orders. I've been focusing a lot on lots and stuff lately. I've mentioned that before in a few videos, but I did pick up a few singles here and there. In this case, it was a pair of singles of the same card. But big fan of this guy, so I picked up a pair of Vladimir Guerrero Topps rookies. What year is this? 2018? 2019? Yeah, 2019. Still very unfamiliar with the new stuff. I don't collect a whole lot of it, but I am a rookie collector, so just pick up the stuff here and there when I can. Of some of my favorite players playing today. But I don't have any desire or intention to pick up some of these, super shiny, limited issues or anything like that. I'm more than content with, base rookie cards and stuff like that. I mean, if one happens to fall in my lap for more than a bargain, I'll have no problems picking it up, but I definitely don't seek them out. But, stuff like this, like the Machado we saw in the COMC order, I have no problems picking up stuff like that. All right, next, here are a few vintage singles. Really happy to pick this one up. I might actually ship this one off as a TTM. This guy does do TTMs. I believe he charges maybe $20, I think. But was a big fan of this guy, following the late 80s, early 90s Oakland A's teams that were just, the talk of baseball with, Canseco, McGuire, Ricky Henderson, Dave Stewart, Bob Welsh, and this guy, Dennis Eckersley. They were a fun team to watch. But this is a 1976 SSPC. This is a Dennis Eckersley rookie card. I don't have his Topps rookie yet. I do want to get it. I am, technically trying to build the set slowly, so I'll have it eventually. But have always enjoyed this card as well. I remember at one point in time this was considered like a 75, because I think it says 75 on the back. Yeah, SSPC 1975. So this was technically like a pre-rookie. But I think it's been discovered that this actually came, I guess it was done in 75 and then released in 76. So, if it was released before the Topps, it was a few months earlier, but still a great card, great pitcher. A unique career where he started out as a starter and was a fairly dominant starter, all-star, pitched a no-hitter, and then turned into one of the most dominant closers of his era, if not all time. And definitely fun to watch, very animated, and would love to get an Eckersley autograph into the collection because I don't have one. So happy to pick up this rookie card, Dennis Eckersley. And yeah, cool card. Next, I was actually trying to win 3 cards from this set. 3 cards from the same seller from this set. Unfortunately, I only won 1, and because of that, I ended up having to pay $4.50 for shipping for 1 card. So a little disappointed about that, because if I had been able to win the other 2, which were sniped, I would have been okay paying the $4.50. But only getting the one card and paying $4.50 for shipping. It was a little rough, but anyway, really happy to get this card. It's in fairly nice shape for its age, and a fan of this player. Not a Hall of Famer, but a notable player of his era. This is a 1954 Topps Hank Bauer. And I was reading about Hank Bauer on his Wikipedia, and he was actually on trial for a fight that had taken place at the Copacabana involving, several other Yankees players, including Whitey Ford and Mickey Mantle, and I believe he was acquitted for that. But there were some interesting other notes on his Wikipedia page. I think it was Tommy Lasorda said that Hank Bauer had the type of face that looked like it could hold 2 days worth of rain. I think that's paraphrasing, but something like that. And there was another little story that they were talking about where I guess Hank Bauer believed that Whitey Ford and Mickey Mantle were partying a little bit too much, and he had actually pinned Whitey Ford against the wall of the dugout and told him, "Don't mess with my money." Because, back then they didn't get paid like they did today. And, if you won the World Series or even made the World Series, you had that bonus check. And so Hank Bauer wanted Whitey Ford to know, if you're out partying, that's great. But if you don't come ready to play, you're messing with my money. So pretty interesting story. But Hank Bauer himself was a fantastic player. He eventually became a manager, and he was a fairly good manager as well. But again, I mentioned a couple videos ago when I picked up my first 1954. I was slow to jump on the bandwagon of this set because I never liked that there was no border at the top, that the picture would go straight up to the top, and they always look sort of miscut to me. So I was definitely slow to jump on this set. But it's grown on me because I do love the dual image that they have. And this is a great looking card. This one's definitely miscut. You can see right here where it cuts right off the side. And in fact, on the bottom, you don't even see much of, if any, of the bottom edge right here. But still, really cool looking card, and it's crease free, minor corner wear. And happy to add my second 1954 Topps to the collection. All right, next, this kind of falls along the line of the Willie Mays that I showed in the COMC order. Anytime you can pick up a card of this guy, for a good price, you got to do it. And I saw this one, and it's super sharp, almost packed fresh, but it is miscut. But one thing that I've noticed about this card is there are a lot of miscut copies of this card. So I don't know where it was in the sheet, but this one definitely had some issues with centering. And, I did decide I'm not building the complete set of this because of high numbers, but I have decided that I'm going to sort of build up this set up to the high numbers because it is one of my, if not it is one of my favorite sets from the 70s. So I saw this one and thought it was super sharp, decided to pick it up. Legendary player, former home run king, some would argue still the home run king. Of course, I'm talking about the great Hank Aaron, and this is his 1972 Topps in action. And just look how sharp this card is. And just the white borders, they just pop. But yeah, this is off center, clearly. But I just thought this was a really nice copy of this card, so I decided to pick it up. And in the future, if one that's better centered comes along, and, I can get it for a nice price, I'll do that as well. You can't go wrong buying a Hank Aaron card. Great image of him rounding the bases, maybe after one of his 755 home runs, but really, really, really cool card. Happy to add this to the collection. All right, so those are all the smaller groups that I've picked up. I did buy multiple singles from this seller, but I think I ended up with like 9 or 10 cards. Um, I have never owned a card from this set until now. This is 1976-77 Topps basketball. And I knew these were big cards, but I did not realize how much bigger these cards were than the tall boys. And this is a card that's been in my collection for a few months. This is the only 70-71 tall boy basketball card that I have. So I'll go ahead and show it. I still have this on the Greg Morris that I purchased it from because I don't have any of these tall boy sleeves. But this is a Nate Thurmond um, from that set, and this is a tall boy. And they also made a set from 69-70 that I believe are similarly sized. But I think I actually have to raise up my camera. Let me do that real quick just to kind of show this. But this is the 76-77. And you can see how much bigger this set is compared to the tall boy. Now, this is a tall boy. look at that. It's almost the size like a postcard or something. Not quite as wide, but it might be the same length. But yeah. So I was really kind of surprised at how big these are. But they do fit really nicely in Card Saver 4s. So I have plenty of Card Saver 4s. I'm always buying 50 packs of those for index card autographs and autographs that I get through TTMs and 5x7s and 6x9s and stuff, and these work great for those. So these are perfect for these size cards. But let me go ahead and talk about some of these cards that I picked up. This is a Junior Bridgman rookie card, and he is a great TTM signer. But yeah, I guess Junior Bridgman is probably more known for becoming a multi-billionaire. After his playing days, he purchased Jet and Ebony magazine. And so that's probably what he's mostly known for today, is being a hugely successful businessman. But he was a fantastic ball player, and really happy to pick up his rookie card. I probably will send this out to get signed by Mr. Bridgman, because I think cards like this would just look amazing with some ink on them. So maybe I'll get this one out to him. Maybe pick up a few more Junior Bridgman cards and send them off and try to get those signed. This next guy is also a great TTM signer, and another reason why I picked up this card. I believe this is his third year. Yeah, this is Swen Nader. Really nice player. And I think this card will look fantastic with some ink on it as well. And I do have a few other Swen Nader cards, so I think now I'm at like 3 or 4 Swen Nader cards, so I can probably put these off in a TTM pretty soon. All right, next, I can kind of show these two together because they both have hugely impressive Iron Man streaks in basketball. We have Randy Smith and we have Ron Boone. Now, Randy Smith, he set the NBA record for most consecutive games played. And Ron Boone, when you combine his ABA and NBA, actually had a longer streak than Randy Smith as far as consecutive games played are concerned. But both of the records were eventually surpassed by AC Green, and I was actually at the game when AC Green set the consecutive games played record, breaking Randy Smith's record. And I still have that ticket stub somewhere. I need to locate that and definitely put it in a sleeve or something. Just based on the significance of the ticket. It's probably the most significant game that I've been to in my lifetime for any sport. So definitely want to locate that and get that sleeved up. But big fan of both of these guys. In fact, Ron Boone supposedly never missed a game through all of high school all of college, all of the pros, and he's never missed a day of work in his life. He's now working for the Utah Jazz as a commentator on their broadcast. He's never missed a day in his life of anything. And you want to talk about a work ethic, it doesn't get any better than Ron Boone. So, really happy to pick both these cards up. Let me show you the backs. And all these cards are in fantastic shape. Really lucky to find all of these from the same seller. And there were many. It was almost like a set break. The biggest cards from the set were not listed, but all the rest of them were basically listed all at one time. And I tried to win a few more, but I wasn't able to. But still happy to get the ones that I did. All right, moving on to a Hall of Famer. We have Bob Dandridge. And another Hall of Famer and great TTMer. First, we have Gail Goodrich. Now, I have sent to him twice before, but both autographs were on Utah Jazz cards. And I do know Gail Goodrich much more for his time playing with the Lakers. And so this is my first Gail Goodrich card with him on the Lakers. Really happy to get this. And I believe it was Adam that was saying that he personalizes unless you put some money in. I think it might have been $5 or $10. But if you put the money in the envelope during the TTM, he won't personalize it. So with this card, I might throw $5 or $10 in there and see if I can get this without the two-tony on it. Although normally I don't mind personalizations. The cards aren't going anywhere. I don't have any plans to sell them. But anyway, at some point, hopefully many years from now, when somebody's breaking up my collection, it might be easier to sell them if they aren't personalized. So. All right. Next, I am trying to build the player run of this player. This guy went to the same school as my father. In fact, at the same time that my father was going to the school. And so definitely a big fan of this guy. But this is Elvin Hayes. And so another card from his player run. I probably have 5 or 6 of his cards now. Don't have his rookie, though. Definitely want to get that. I did purchase an autograph of his. But an amazing player. And another Hall of Famer here, Rick Barry. Of course, he shot his free throws granny style or whatever you call it. But he was an amazing player, Hall of Famer. Great image right there, him throwing a pass. And look at this. I have to point it out. Washington Bullets. It seems to be a pattern with all of these vintage basketball cards from the 70s. There are so many of them with the Washington Bullets in the images. All right, this last one. This one's a little beat up. This one's got a crease in it. It's got some bends in it. And yeah, I was not really happy with the condition of this card, and this might have happened in the mail. I'm not sure. It wasn't listed in the listing as being damaged, but anyway, it's Bobby Jones, another great TTM signer. But there is a bend right here. There is a crease right here. This edge is really rough. You can see that it's lipped up right there. So, yeah, if I'll say I'm trying to build this set, not in any sort of hurry, because I am trying to build, basically all the major sports sets from the 70s that are affordable into the early to mid 80s. So, slowly but surely going to build this set, and this one would definitely have to be replaced because the condition of this one is just atrocious. But Bobby Jones, great TTM signer, fantastic player. that's the last card of this lot. I guess group of singles would be more accurate. We got Junior Bridgman, Swen Nader, Randy Smith, Ron Boone, and then the Hall of Famers. We got Bob Dandridge, Gail Goodrich. Can't even fit these on the screen. Elvin Hayes, Rick Barry, and then Bobby Jones. So I definitely like those cards much more, having these in person than kind of seeing them, on a computer screen or in a magazine or something. I didn't realize these were so big. These are just so much bigger than these tall boys, and I just think it makes for amazing cards. I am a big fan of the Topps Giants in baseball, so I don't mind oversized cards. All right, so I do have a few more lots of cards that I picked up, but some of these can wait until next week. Um, let's go ahead and show this one, and then I can show the rest next week. So I did buy a lot of bunch of commons, from the 1971 top set. These are all White Sox, and there is some duplication. Again, this is the second time this has happened with a small lot of these early 70s baseball cards. First, a couple weeks ago, I purchased a 45 card lot of 1970 tops. And they were put in a bubble mailer, but inside the bubble mailer, they were put in a regular plain white envelope with no protection, no penny sleeves or anything like that, just put in the plain white envelope. And the same thing happened with the 1971 tops, just the bubble mailer and then plain white envelope, no penny sleeves. You would think that they could put them in penny sleeves. They're basically a penny a piece. It's not breaking the bank. But they didn't. They just put them in plain white envelopes. And the same thing happened with this one. I don't know how many cards it is, maybe 12, 15 cards. But again, bubble mailer and then a plain white envelope. I mean, come on, guys. Have a little bit more respect for the vintage. But I don't know how bad these were beat up. I mean, they look okay. None of them are creased up or anything. But, you see corner wear and you wonder if that was there before they put it in the plain white envelope. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. This is a Rich McKinney. We got Dwayne Josephson. I do like the catcher images. Get to check out the old catcher gear and stuff. I mean, just look at that old batting glove right there. That's pretty cool. And we have Jerry Kreider. Bart Johnson. Actually, have two Bart Johnsons. This one's in better shape. This one's really off center. Next, we have Ed Herman. Bob Spence. I have a pair of, actually, you have three. Carlos May. All are in pretty nice shape. These two are off center. This one probably has the most corner wear, though, but it is the most well centered. The three Carlos Mays. last two are a pair of J. Johnstone. And this one's fairly sharp. A little off center though. All right, so how many cards was this lot? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 12 cards. 12 cards with some duplication, but I didn't pay a whole lot for this. So I thought it was a pretty good pickup. All right. So I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more lots that I'll be saving for next week. Let's go ahead and get started showing the 1979 Topps Baseball Starter Set. Put these right here. So we got through 100 last week. And so I think we'll try to go to 300 today. Let me see. I think, yeah, 300. We'll go ahead and go to 300. And then we'll open up a few more packs of the 1990 Kingpins bowling cards and call it a video. But as I usually do when I'm showing the starter sets, I'll show the backs of a few cards and then just show the fronts to kind of speed up the process. But if there's a notable player or something like that, I'll show the back of those cards. We'll go ahead and start with Roy Howell. Let me adjust the camera back down for these. Since I adjusted it for the 76 basketball. There, hopefully that didn't make anybody dizzy. All right, next we have a severely miscut Mike Anderson. Jim Todd. And being a Ranger fan, I'm a huge fan of this guy. This guy led the Texas Rangers to their first 3 playoff appearances in 96, 98, 99. Numbers retired by the team. We have Johnny Oates. Rest in peace. Rick Camp. Move these right here so I don't bump the stack accidentally. We have Frank Duffy. Jesus Alou. Eduardo Rodriguez. Joel Youngblood. We have the great Vida Blue. Not a Hall of Famer, but an amazing pitcher, especially first 5 or 6 years of his career. Next we have Roger Freed. Danny Ozark. I guess it's not too bad. A little bit of wear. I don't see a crease. Pete Redfern. And this one has a crease. This one will have to be replaced. This is Cliff Johnson. There's a crease right there. Grant Jackson. And that's actually card 117. So 116 is actually already in my collection. Hall of Famer, greatest card in the set. This card is hard to find centered, but I was happy with the condition of this one despite the centering. And I had this card as a kid, traded it away, sort of regretted it. So I definitely had to pick this back up. This was actually my brother's favorite player when we were growing up. But of course, I'm talking about the great Ozzie Smith. And like I said, the centering's a little off on this one, but it is a really sharp copy. This is definitely better than the copy that I did have when I was younger. And yeah, excited to have replaced this in my collection. But like I said, this is not part of the starter lot. This has been in my collection for at least a year and a half. So, man, he was fun to watch. Just an electric defensive player. He made the tough play look easy. And of course, everybody remembers him running onto the field and doing his backflip. Very charismatic player. And you just loved watching him play because you knew he enjoyed the game. He enjoyed playing the game. I know several people that don't think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, but I think defensive wizards to take his nickname don't get enough credit in the Halls of Fame. One that really stands out is probably the greatest first baseman of all time, Keith Hernandez. He was a fantastic player in his own right, and he's got many, was it 13, 14, 15 gold gloves at first base. He's not in the Hall of Fame. Jim Cott is now in the Hall of Fame, but for many years he had the most gold gloves in history as a pitcher until Greg Maddux passed him. And, he just recently got into the Hall of Fame. So I have no problems looking at Ozzie Smith as a Hall of Famer because his defensive expertise is probably the best ever at the position. So great card. Enough rambling about Ozzie. everybody should know about Ozzie Smith. All right, next we'll move on to Bud Harrelson. Don Stanhouse. Jim Sundberg. Great image right there. I love that background. Of course, Sundberg was a long-time Ranger. Mike Paxton. Dan Schatzeder. Rick Burleson. Love the images around the batting cage. Doug Baer. Thad Bosley. Ted Martinez. Marty Patton. That's an interesting image. It almost looks like the tarp is on the field. It does kind of look overcast. I wonder if this was taken during like a rain delay or something. interesting. I'd like to know the story behind that card. Bob Watson. Jim Clancy. Roland Office. Bill Castro. Alan Bannister. This is kind of interesting because it seems like every time one of these starter lots has a Bobby Mercer card in it, it's just super beat up. Here's another Bobby Mercer with just dings and creases and bends and indentions. But Bobby Mercer was a pretty nice player. Speaking of Jim Cott a few minutes ago, there's his card. Should have been in the Hall of Fame long before he actually was. Larry Wolf. Mark Lee. Give me 1 second to get a drink real quick. All right, we got Luis Pujols. Don Gullett. Tom Paciorek. Tony Scott. Sandy Alomar Sr. with the Rangers. Cool card. Rick Rhoden. Nice pitcher. Became a fantastic golfer after his career was over. He regularly wins the, I don't know what they're called, celebrity golf games or amateur golf games with celebrities or something. Yeah, you're always seeing him close to the top of the leaderboard. Next, we have Dwayne Kuiper. Dave Hamilton. Bruce Boisclair. Manny Sarmiento. Wayne Cage. John Hiller. Rick Cerrone. Dennis Lamp. I think I might have this card signed. Jim Gantner. Buddy Solomon. UL Washington. Definitely off center. Joe Sambito. White, another pretty off center. Mike Flanagan. Barry Foote. Tom Johnson. Glenn Burke. Mickey Lolich. Frank Tavares. Actually, that's interesting. Look at the weights on his bat. I know about the donut, but that behind the donut, that thing's huge. I don't think I've ever seen a donut that big. So that's kind of interesting. It's like a donut with a weight on it or something. That's pretty cool. Next we have Roger Metzger. Dave Frieselben. Bill Naharadny. Gene Kleins. Mike Bruhert. John Lowenstein. Rick Auerbach. George Hendrick. Aurelio Rodriguez. Ron Reed. Alvis Woods. Jim Beattie. Larry Hissel. I might have butchered that. Mike Garman. Tim Johnson. Paul Splittorff. Daryl Cheney. Mike Torres. Eric Soderholm. Mark Lemongello. Pat Kelly. Eddie Whitson. Mike Norris. Cardinals team card with Ken Boyer. Could be in the Hall of Fame at some point in the future. Glenn Adams. Randy Jones, former Cy Young winner. Bill Madlock, fantastic player. Could be a Hall of Famer. Up to this point, his batting average is .325. Just an amazing, amazing hitter. 75 E at .354. Next, we have Steve Kemp. Bob Apodaca. Johnny Grubb. Larry Milbourne. Mike Edwards. This is a 1978 record breaker. American League record, most unassisted double plays, second baseman in a game. So 2 unassisted double plays. Interesting. All right, let me scoot these off to the side. We just got into the 200s. So I don't have every card between 200 and 300, but that'll be the last group we'll be going through. All right, next. 78 record breaker, American League record, most strikeouts, left-hander in a 9-inning game. Ron Guidry, Gator. Fabian just got a great autograph back in the mail from Ron Guidry. Signed a book of his. Great-looking auto. I need to see if I have some extras in some of these starter sets that I have of some of these 70s Ron Guidry cards, and maybe send one out to him. I think the only Guidry autograph I have is on an 86 Leaf, I think. Guidry fans 18 Angels to set new AL lefty mark. Well, that's no longer the record because I know Randy Johnson had a 20 strikeout game. But very cool that Guidry had the record at one point. I think I remember that vaguely. Another 78 record breaker, J.R. Richard, National League record, most strikeouts in the season by a right-hander. Well, Nolan Ryan definitely had the record with the Angels, which I think still stands. Okay, so J.R. Richard had finished the season with 303 strikeouts, a new NL record for right-handers. The old mark was 289 by Tom Seaver during 1971. Only 2 others have fanned 300 or more in NL history, Southpaws Sandy Koufax and Steve Carlton. Richard was an amazing pitcher. John Stearns, 1978 record breaker, National League record, most stolen bases by a catcher in a season. Okay. Finished the season with 25 stolen bases. The old record was actually Johnny Kling of Chicago in 1902, tied in 1903. Major League record is 30, held by White Sox catcher Ray Schlack in 1916. Oh, that's interesting. That was a long record that was broken. Talk about Johnny Kling. Wow. Johnny Kling has like T206 cards and stuff. Next we have Sammy Stewart, Major League record, 7 straight strikeouts during first game in the majors. Talk about bursting onto the scene. Check that unibrow. Love it. Sammy Stewart sets big league record with 7 consecutive strikeouts in debut. Former mark of 6 in a row during the debut was set by Brooklyn's Carl Spooner in 1954, tied by LA's Pete Rickert in 1962. Very cool. So that's all of the record breakers. Pretty sure I don't have all of them. I'm probably missing a couple of them. Next we have Dave Lemancic. Next we have the great Cito Gaston. Reggie Cleveland. Next we have a guy who probably deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, Larry Boa. I believe he's a good TTM signer. I've never tried to send to him, but had a really nice career. Next we have El Presidente, Denny Martinez. Bill Travers. That was 213. This is 212. This is Carney Lansford's rookie. Again, I already brought up the late 80s, early 90s A's. Carney Lansford, I believe he batted second for several of those years, right after Ricky Henderson. And I always loved how he batted. He'd always like shake the bat. I tried to emulate that when I was younger. He was a really nice hitter. Yeah, that's his rookie card. Doesn't cost a whole lot. I think it's probably like 50 cents or something. But yeah, I did already have this in my collection. And there wasn't one in this starter lot. So happy that I actually picked this up at one point. And so this is 214. This is Don Zimmer. And the next card, the last card that I have that's top loaded, that I already had in my collection, will be after this one. Big fan of Don Zimmer. Enjoyed watching him managing the Cubs in the, I guess it was early 90s. Would always get home from school and put on the Cubs game, and they were always playing day games, of course. All right, card 215. Another card I already had in my collection, but it's the Willie McCovey. This one's a little off center, but it's really sharp. Looks packed fresh. Big fan of Willie McCovey. Love to get his rookie card at one point. At some point. It's kind of interesting when you don't realize how big Willie McCovey is until you see him standing next to like Willie Mays. He's got a couple cards in the 60s where they're standing next to each other, and you're like, man. I mean, Willie Mays is a pretty big player, but, you know, I mean, I don't know how tall Willie McCovey is, probably 6'5", 6'4". Yeah, him standing next to Willie Mays, you realize, wow, that dude's pretty big. I mean, I guess big for the time because, you know, Willie McCovey standing next to Aaron Judge or something, he'd look really small. So. But yeah, y'all know what I mean. He was a pretty big player. Next we have Wilbur Wood. And that one's got some creases. And I believe Wilbur Wood does do TTMs, but I think he charges. But I'll have to replace that card. Next we have Steve Dillard. Dennis Leonard. Roy Smalley. Cesar Geronimo. Jesse Jefferson. Bob Beal. Kent Zakulvi. Dave Revering. Definitely off center. Goose Gossage. I just sent a TTM out to him yesterday. Let me go ahead and show the back of that. He is a Hall of Famer. Ron Pruitt. Steve Stone. Another off center, Doug Flynn. Bob Forsch. I thought I saw a crease. Guess not. Johnny Walkenfuss. Jimmy Sexton. Paul Mitchell. Toby Harrah. Billy Smith. Baylor Moore. Willie Horton. This one's got a little bit of a piece of pulp or something. Pablo Torrealba. You can see right there, there's like a something embedded within the card. There's another little something right there. Like tree pulp or something. Dude does have an epic stash. Look at that. Buck Martinez. All right, so this one, card's not in bad shape, but it is marked on the back. Pirates team card with Chuck Tanner. So I'll definitely have to replace this. You know, Zach over at Zach's Collectibles made a comment on my video, it was like last week or 2 weeks ago, where he was talking about the nostalgia of having an already marked checklist. There is a little bit of nostalgia to that, I got to admit. But, you know, when you're trying to build up a set, you kind of want them to be clean. But yeah, I don't mind having a marked checklist or something like that. It definitely tells the story of the person that was originally trying to put this set together, or maybe somebody early in the existence of this card trying to put this set together. So it is kind of cool to have, you know, that little piece of hobby history in your collection. Kind of think about the stories the card could tell. But yeah, we'll definitely have to replace that one for a set build. Next we have Jeff Burrows. Nice player. Former Rookie of the Year for the Rangers. Darryl Jackson. Tucker Ashford. Pete Lecoq. Thormusgard, Thormodsgard. Probably butchered that. Thormodsgard. Willie Randolph, nice player. Bob Stinson. And this one's beat up. Rick Wise. See quite a bit of creasing in that one. Luis Gomez. Mike Sadek. Adrian Devine. Mike Phillips. Richie Zisk. Mario Guerrero. Definitely off center. Nelson Bryles. Oscar Gamble. Don Robinson. Don Money. Jim Willoughby. Joe Rudy. Another nice player. Julio Gonzalez. Butch Hobson. Off center. Raleigh Eastwick. I don't know what's going on in this image. Tim Corcoran. And what is going on with that swing? That is the most unnatural swing stance I have ever seen in my life. Wow. I can't imagine what either the photographer or he was thinking with this image. Wow. That's a great image, though. I love it. As unnatural as that looks, that almost looks painful. Maybe he's reacting like, you get hit in the ribs or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Jerry Terrell. Willie Norwood. Junior Moore. Andy Messersmith. That's kind of a great image. You can see the ball right there. Jerry Grote. Vic Carell. Roy Hartsfield. Ken Kravick. Just a few more to go. Johnny LeMaster. Bobby Bonds on the Rangers. Love that. Andres Mora. Cox. Jose Cruz. He signs for, I think, $2 per. Nice player. Davey Lopes. Another nice player. Tom Griffin. Don Reynolds. Jerry Garvin, definitely miscut. You can see next card on the sheet right there, and this one's definitely cut right there wrong. Here's the back. Pepe Frias. Mitchell Page. Preston Hanna. Ted Sizemore. Rich Gale. And the last card from the 79 starter set for today, Steve Ontiveros. This one's got some corner wear, a little rougher than I would like, and it's off center, so I might have to replace this one. All right, so that's the 79 starter set for this week. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing those cards. Probably show another. Let's see, we got through 300. I think it's a 792 card set. Maybe we'll show 250 tomorrow, or 250 next week, not tomorrow. 250 next week. That way we can finish it off the week after that. All right, so we're at an hour and 23 minutes. So we have half the box left to go of these 1990 Kingpins. I did sort of an update on the set builds. I still don't have a complete set yet. I mean, I do have one, but from the box, I don't have the complete set yet. I'm 10 cards away. One of those cards being the biggest card in the box, which is the Walter Ray Williams rookie card. So, you know, the odds say that you're going to get like 3 of those within this box, but we haven't hit one yet. So we'll see if we can get, at the very least, a Walter Ray Williams, if not a complete set this week. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, let's open up half of what's left. Leave the last 9 for probably next week. All right, because I want a Walter Ray Williams, so we'll open 9 today. If I don't get it in any of these, then I'll start to worry that I'm not going to get at the very least 3 of them within this box, which would be nice because he is arguably the greatest bowler of all time. All right, so we have David Husted, and I've already gone over the amount of Hall of Famers within this, so I'm just going to kind of show the cards so we can go through these. Several of them you've probably already seen. David Ozio. I'm not sure if I've seen that one yet. That might be good. Del Ballard Jr. His wife, Carolyn Doran Ballard, is also in the Hall of Fame. They're kind of based within 30 minutes of where I'm at, so definitely knew about him and his wife. it when I was doing a little bit of bowling myself. Joe Berardi, Les Zykes, Mark Williams, Larry Laub. Look at that first pack. Got the Walter Ray Williams Jr. rookie card. Love it. All right. So that's fantastic. Let's get a better look at that. So I do have this card already signed. From the original set that I bought. Really happy to get this one. Now I can have one that's unsigned in a set. We have Don Moser and Gary Skidmore. There were quite a few cards within that pack that I didn't recognize from the box, so that might be the pack that I've been looking for to get me to my first complete set from the box, so that would be nice. All right. Let's see if we can get another Walter Ray Williams within these packs. Dave Davis, Steve Neff, Les Schisler. And one thing that I haven't shown, but I started noticing, if you look at the backs, they're actually in order, numerical order. There's 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96. So all these packs, like I guess they would probably be easy to be searched if you were the type of person that did that. Not that anybody would want to search these cards. But yeah, you can kind of get an idea looking at a couple cards what you're about to hit if you know the numerical order of the best cards in the set. You have Les Schisler, Bob Stramp, Steve Martin, Don McCune, Ernie Schlegel, Ron Bell, Randy Peterson, and Johnny Petraglia. He's definitely a Hall of Famer, and he does sign. All right. Pack number 3. There's Pete Weber's, or Dick Weber, Pete Weber's dad. Hall of Famer. Very nice. David Ferraro. Again, let me show you the backs of these so you can see that they are in order. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So, yeah, they didn't mix these up or anything. Tom Kreitz. Warren Nelson. Hey, Pete Weber rookie card. So we got Dick and Pete Weber in the same pack. And he is a fantastic signer. So that's nice. I think we've already hit 2 of those. So this might be the 3rd Pete Weber now. Gary Dickinson. Bill Bonetta. Wayne Webb. Pretty sure he's a Hall of Famer. Brad Snell. Joe Salvamini. So far, we've had some really nice packs. Mike McGrath. Bill Lillard. Don Carter. That's nice. Dave Arnold. Jim Pencack. Mike Albee, great TTM signer. Hall of Famer. Glenn Allison. Harry Sullins. Butch Soper. Billy Walden. What do we got? 5 more to go. Andy Marzic, Tom Westlake, Wayne Zahn, Jim Stefanich, Paul Colwell, Mark Baker, George Pappas, Dick Weber again, David Ferraro, Tom Kreitz. No Pete Weber in that grouping, but we did get another Dick Weber. All right, we got Dave Arnold, Jim Pencack again, another Mike Albee, another Glenn Allison, another Harry Sullins, another Butch Soper, another Billy Walden. These might be new. Dave Sutar, Ted Hannas, and Roger Boker. Looks like he's putting some grip in the ball. All right, 3 to go. Love to get another Walter Ray in one of these last packs. George Pappas. Okay, there's another Dick Weber, so we're going to get Pete Weber in here again. That would be nice. David Ferraro. Tom Kreitz. Warren Nelson. Yeah, there it is. Pete Weber. I'll definitely take that. So that might be the 4th Pete Weber, I think. Gary Dickinson. Bill Bonetta. Wayne Webb. Brad Snell. Dave Sutar, Ted Hannas again, another Roger Boker, John Odrabanek. We got 2 John Odrabaneks, so that's the first time we've seen duplication in a pack, so those might have been stuck together. Tommy Hudson, Jess Stayrook, Jimmy Certain, Steve Cook, and Marshall Holman, Hall of Famer. All right, last pack. I definitely like the packs that we have today, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish more than maybe 2 complete sets if we don't get another Walter Ray Williams. And it doesn't look like we will because that's card number 2. We'll see. Mats Carlson, Don Gianallo, Bob Benoit, Hugh Miller, Barry Asher, Amleto Monticelli, Alan Chodor. Lots of Hall of Famers in this pack, though. Mike Durbin, Chris Schenkel, and Nelson Burton Jr. Well, 2 Pete Webers, 3 Dick Webers, Johnny Petraglia, Walter Ray Williams, so definitely not disappointed. 2 Mike Albees. So yeah, definitely not disappointed. Plenty of great cards in there, but we have 9 packs to go, and I'd at the very least like to get 2 more Walter Ray Williams. I don't know if I'll be able to do that. And I didn't mention this video, but I have before. There are randomly inserted autographs. 200 autographs of each of the top 10 all-time money winners are randomly inserted. So we haven't pulled one of those yet. You know, that would be really cool to get one of those. But a lot of these guys are great TTM signers anyway. So not that big of a deal if we don't get one. I'm not really expecting one, but still would be cool to get. This has got to be one of the earliest products that actually had autographs in it. right along with Upper Deck. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed seeing those. And that is all I have for you this week. We're just after an hour and 35 minutes long. So, yeah, that's all I got for you. But hopefully you enjoyed the content today. And we've got plenty of mini little lots to show next week. Show another group of the 1975 Topps Baseball starter set. Probably open up the last grouping of bowling cards. So should be a fun show next week. But until then, I appreciate everybody who showed up for the after party tonight. Thank you so much. Appreciate your amazing support. And anybody that's catching this on the replay, really appreciate your support as well. And thank you for taking the time to watch the video. But until next week, thanks for watching the video. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.